personal. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
All right, Brendan Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with my main man, Ring Magazine's very own, Doug Fischer.
Yes.
Great to see you, Doug.
Yeah. And now I don't wear glasses anymore, so folks don't say that we're related. You get that a lot?
All the time.
Are you Dougie's little brother?
All
What's
the time.
Going on?
All the time. But great to see you, Doug. You know, we're here for the fights. You know, Ryan Garcia versus Tank. I wanted to pick your brain. How do you see Tank versus Ryan going in?
I think it's potentially explosive, but I don't think it's going to be Hagler-Hearns.
Okay.
I don't think either fighter is going to force the action, force the explosions, right? Like Hagler did that, and Tommy Hearns answered in kind, right? Hagler did that because he believed in his chin, believed in his conditioning, believed that he was he's the middleweight, he's the bigger man. He was going to go out there and he was going to take it. And Tommy Hearns believed that he was the biggest puncher in boxing. Mm-hmm. And guess what? He was, right? So he's like, oh, you're going to come to me? Then I'm going to knock you out. And Tommy landed his best shots. Hagler, to his immortal credit, took him and stayed in Tommy's chest and forced that third round stoppage. And what we were treated to was an all-time great shootout. I think the styles of Tank and Ryan, it's not like that. Like, they will wait for their knockout. Yeah. Their knockout is dynamic.
It's going to produce more educated fights.
Right. So I think that they're going. Each fighter is going to be leery of the other man's power. I think I'm not going to say they're going to play keep away, but I do think they're going to. It's going to have a cautious beginning. I really wish it would be a Hagler-Hearns, and that they would have that mindset, but. Modern fighters they're very calculating, and even if in their heart, their spirit, right? It is. They're kind of take a page from Floyd and to a lesser extent from Roy Jones Jr., who had the speed and the power and the explosiveness and that dynamic athleticism. If he wanted to, he could have scored a lot of opening round knockouts. He could have blasted dudes, but he was careful. Because they're thinking like, no, as long as I'm winning, I'm going to be making these massive paydays, and so they keep that in the back of their minds. Boxers are as much businessmen these days, and I get that because we're talking about millions of dollars. We're talking about millions earned on the night, and multiple millions potentially that can be earned if they can keep their momentum going. So. I think both guys they're gonna kind of circle each other. They're both going to be trying to set traps early, so it might take it a while to warm up. But I think by the middle rounds, each guy will see things that he believes he can take advantage of, and that he can sneak a shot in here, and he's thinking he's going to try to hit me back, but I got the counter for him.
Yeah.
They both believe they've got the counter punch for the other, and I think by the middle rounds, I think it will get those explosive exchanges. Okay. So the crowd might be antsy early.
Get some boos early on.
The media might be whispering to each other like, these young fighters, they don't want to commit, that kind of thing. And then it sets off, and then we're off to the races. It was that way. I'm going to dial it back to 1999. I'm at the Thomas and Mack Center, and another showdown between young, unbeaten elite boxers. It was Oscar De La Hoya and Hoya-Quartey.
Great fight.
And but they were both careful early. They're both careful, and going into the fight, everybody made comparisons to that matchup. To like Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, there were
similar narratives,
Yeah, similar narratives, and that was also just a wishful thinking. And I think 5 rounds in, I'm sitting next to a veteran journalist, and he said that he's like, young fighters, they're afraid to commit. They have that fear of getting hurt. And then in the next round, they knock each other down, and then we're off to the races. It was
a sudden explosion, pretty much.
Yeah. You get, I forgot who knocked down who first. I think De La Hoya scored the first knockdown in round 6, and then Quartey got up and knocked Oscar down. And it might have been a harder knockdown, I'll have to go and rewatch it. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Me neither.
But then everybody's into it. And the Thomas and Mack Center was electric, and everybody was really invested in the fight, and everybody was split as to who was ahead on the scorecards going into the final round.
Yeah.
Some people thought it was up for grabs. Some people thought De La Hoya by a point. Some people thought Quartey by a point. And then De La Hoya scores a knockdown. And it looked like he was going to get the stoppage.
Yeah.
He gassed out. But he did something that a special fighter is supposed to do to get that victory, you know. And he needed that just for his credibility.
Yeah,
so you didn't, just like Ryan Garcia, even by 19, which is, by the way, was nuts. People were saying, yeah, De La Hoya is a 4-division champion, right? From 130 pounds to 147.
Camera cut off.
Before the camera cut off. Oh, I was saying that even by 1999, even though Oscar De La Hoya was unbeaten, he was at the top of the pound-for-pound list, or second to Roy Jones Jr., you know. 4-division champion, people were still saying, no, you're a matinee idol. You're a media creation, you're a media sensation, you're a star, but you're not a real fighter because everybody you fought has either been older than you or they were smaller than you. And then Quartey, Quartey was in his 20s. Quartey was also unbeaten. Quartey was viewed as the real, the natural welterweight, not somebody coming up in weight. And Quartey was viewed as a strong guy, which he was. His jab was like a power right hand.
Straight right hand, yeah.
Yeah, it was like, so Oscar needed to beat him, and he needed to do something dramatic, and I think we could see something like that with Ryan and Tank tonight.
Okay. Any final prediction you have for the fight?
I'm going to go with the chalk. I'm going with the chalk, Tank by late stoppage. Okay. But I don't know. I've been feeling like there could be an upset all week.
Yeah, I'm actually going with the upset.
Are you going with the upset? Good for you.
By decision. By decision.
Yeah, because like Tank is a low volume guy, and he gives up rounds to anybody.
Everyone.
He gave up rounds to Rolly Romero.
A lot of people thought he was losing to Rolly Romero.
He may have.
Yeah,
he was giving up rounds. You have to land punches to win the rounds. If the other guy's landing a shot on you, even if it's just one or two, he wins the round. So if there's a lot of, if the fight goes the distance and there's a lot of quiet rounds, my guess is Ryan is going to be the slightly busier guy.
Yeah.
Because he can have that jab, that long range jab from the outside. If nothing else. Even if it's not landing,
even if it's a probe,
it's the appearance,
nice probe, yeah.
It's the appearance of activity. So, I think that's, yeah. If I was a betting man, I would,
Yeah, I think he's in a bit of a big lead.
Yeah.
And then in the middle rounds, Tank's gonna be looking for a big shot. It won't be there when he wants it to be. I think Tank will find a shot late in the fight, maybe hurt or drop Ryan.
Yeah.
I think Ryan's gonna get up and then grind out like 2 or 3 rounds and get a decision.
Yeah.
Hard fought, well earned decision.
Sure.
Where he sheds the narrative that he's not tall, but he doesn't have the dog, and people will be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, boxing wins either way.
Yeah.
They're both young attractions, so kudos to them for fighting each other. Yeah.
Well, any final message you want to give to the boxing world about the fights tonight, or what you guys are going on at Ring Magazine?
No, just go to ringtv.com. Follow me at Dougie Fischer on Twitter and Instagram, and look out for the new Ring Magazine app coming out next month.
Oh, okay, awesome. All right, well, shout out to Dougie Fischer, Ring Magazine, one of the best in the business. Thank you for talking to True School Sports. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.